certificate.
Kim, I can't find my birth certificate.
Oh, it probably just got misplaced during the move. Actually, we can request a new one through the Gary 311 app.
Good evening. Today is Thursday, May 29th, 2025. This is the Ways and Means Committee meeting of the Gary Common Council. Tonight, we have myself, Councilwoman of the 4th District, Councilwoman Ivy, Ways and Means Committee member, Councilman Winsington, and 6th District Councilman Dwight Williams is with us this evening. We have before us CPO 2025-31 and CPO 2025-35. The first item on our agenda is CPO 2025-31. Good evening, Attorney Molina. Should I read the title of the ordinance? So CPO 2025-31 is an ordinance accepting a grant award from the National Institute of Food and Agriculture and establishing a budget in the Green Urbanism Fund, sponsored by Mayor Eddie D. Melton, City of Gary, Salita Green, City Controller, and Department of Green Urbanism.
Thank you, Councilwoman. The first thing I'll start off with, it's basically the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Affairs is receiving this grant. We do have someone here from the Gary Food Council who can speak of it, and Brenda just walked in also. So I will, and before Brenda strangles me, I will say there is an amendment to this because it's called Green Urbanism on there, and that's the old name of the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Affairs. So one amendment that we'll ask on the June 3rd, whichever you have it, but I wanted to wait to see if there's any other amendments that come out of today's questions and answers. For the final third reading, we'll submit an amended version that calls it the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Affairs. Brenda, did you want to speak about the, we just started right now, so.
Okay.
But I was telling how it's a grant, and then you can go further.
I have
Good
some.
evening, Ms. Henry.
Good
Thank you for
evening.
being
How
present.
are you?
Fine.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brenda Scott Henry, and I do have some information I printed off and I can share with you about this grant opportunity. So I would just say back in 2023, we did a grant application, and this is with a community partner to do composting, and this kind of initiated from our Gary Food Council. So it wasn't anything that we initiated, it came from the community. And they asked us to partner on the grant with them. And I found out that only the city of Gary could do the application, and you could have sub-recipients. So our partners in this grant project is the Gary Food Council and the Hilltop Farmers Cooperative, who really kind of created this program. And what it will do is a demonstration program that will allow us to reduce the amount of food waste that is going to the landfill. And so the program is comprised of, the components of the program is one, there's a training program that we will, that will be offered by, what's the name of the group? Jesus. Okay, so one of our partners has the credentialing that we need in order to do the training. So that's for each household that will participate in the program. We'll go through this training program on how to compost. And then we will buy the containers for them to demonstrate this. Then once they are producing compost, then the goal is to either have them have gardens themselves, or they share the compost with those who are growers. So Hilltop will then be responsible for making sure we identify those who need to utilize this composting product. And then and by working with the Gary Food Council. The grant itself let's talk about that a little bit. And if you don't mind, looking at this material. Okay, thank you.
While we have a second, I'd like to acknowledge that we have Councilwoman Linda Barnes Caldwell, the 5th District, with us.
And so, and I do have a question. So do we need to also have this, Ways and Means will hear this, but does it need to go before the Finance Department? Because what we're requesting is a budget to establish a fund and then to approve the budget. So,
Committee members, I would say so. Would you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
The reason, and if I may interject for a second, so I've noted, I saw this a while ago, and like I said to your amendment, it is a different title. I'm familiar with this program in Illinois, SWALCO. It was the USDA grant they used to do composting to reduce the usage of their sanitation district. So, and I guess that's our hope for us here in the city of Gary is to reduce the amount of waste going into the sanitary district.
No, reduce the amount of food waste that
Food
is
waste.
going to the landfill, not
Yes.
our landfill, but how
Yeah.
we dispose of things. So that's
Okay.
less waste that is going into our trash for disposal.
And so this grant was over $300,000, and we had a match of $79,000.
Yes,
And so my question is, did we already allocate that $79,000 with the grant?
yes, from
Okay.
my budget, which is under the Office of Sustain. I already included in my budget.
Cool, perfect. But yes, to your question, to establish that, then yeah, it would need, to my understanding, we had to go to finance to establish that budget, that fund, excuse me. But I did have a question in regards to, you said it was a partnership between Gary Food Council and Hilltop.
Councilman Winston, wait one
Yeah.
second. Ms. Henry, were you finished with your
The
presentation?
overview?
With the overview?
I was gonna go over the budget next, but I didn't know how.
Can we, okay, proceed, please.
Okay. Yes, so the budget is, the grant award is $317,000, and then the Office of Sustainability and Environmental Affairs will match with $79,000. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that we expand the program to more people who could at least attend the training and do some of the outreach for us. So that's what we included in the grant. I want to make sure that more people can participate in the program than the one that was just identified in the grant. So we have some extra dollars to train other people and do outreach. And that's this is a 2-year grant, year 1 and year 2. We did have a little bit of a hiccup with USDA, with the change in administration, which is why it took us so long to get the grant presented to city council, to the council for consideration. So we had no communication, and we just started communicating just a little while ago.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Committee members, please, any questions?
Yes, just one question. When we talked about the outreach, I was just curious if there's potential to partner with the other established farms in the city of Gary, such as,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, hopefully they are members of the Gary Food Council. I know that when I worked with them in the past, actually worked with them as they was getting themselves established as a Gary Food Council.
So do you know if Faith Farms is and also Luan's group as? So would it be possible? When I first saw this, I was excited, so I called both of them, Curtis, Frida, Luan, and so and they said they had no idea it was taking place. So now that we have this and we can't establish the budget, I would love to be incorporating that. I'm a farmer myself.
Okay.
So yeah, I would love to have that conversation to see how we can expand on this, and potentially, if it's successful, and I know it will be, with you leading it, going forward without the USDA. So we saw the budget, the redaction, how the city can work with you in the future to ensure we are composting.
Okay,
So thank you. I appreciate you.
yes.
I just wanted to know the composting of the food. You said it'll go to each household.
So each household member who will participate in the program will go through this training on how to compost, how to separate your food waste from regular waste, and then you'll have this container at your home where you would put the compost, and you will learn how to utilize that composting device, and then you'll know what to do with the compost after it's the food waste after it's turned into compost, and then how to utilize it.
Now, is this compost container, how can I say it, secure where no rodents would be able to like bite through or go through, so we won't have like any type of infestation in the city?
So, so not every household will get it. This is a demonstration project, so we're only going to start out with, we say 50, but I hope we can get more than 50, maybe about 75 people, households who will participate in the program. And I should go back a little bit and say this is also part of when you get these USDA grants, they're usually like a study, and they want to take the information that you get and you make a decision based upon the data you collect. So if it works for us, then you move forward. If it doesn't, then you need to tweak it and make it work for you. So we'll have those experiences, but the container that we want to get is something that we could, yes, that will be secure. You will know where you want to keep it in your household, and you have to follow the rules, which is
So
why
it
the
will be-
training is so important.
It'll be inside the home?
Yes.
Okay, I was concerned about it being outside, like the recycling bin or something like, well, not a bin per se, but I was worried about it being outside. So this can be obtained by someone who has an apartment as well as a home.
Yes.
Okay. Any further questions, committee members?
And we're not talking about massive amount of composting. We're just saying what goes on in your household. Let's show you how to not put it in the trash can. Let's put it into this container, which rotates it as it needs to be rotated to create this this compost. You have to mix it with soils. So it's a whole.
Oh,
Maybe
mix
you
it
could.
with the soil.
Yeah, maybe you participate.
I have a lot of food waste, maybe, so.
Maybe you could.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
You're part of it.
Ms. Henry, I hate I missed the beginning of your presentation. And I really don't want to ask questions that you already went over, but you said a program and a training for participants. Do you know when this will start, or will it be after you get your budget together?
The budget, after we get everything approved, all of our partners are ready and waiting on me, waiting on us, and let's say that, and they have already started recruiting. Actually, they're doing classes over in Chicago, and they waiting on us to get our program ready and going. And it'll start in the Hilltop community because they're the one that initiated the grant, but we'll expand it to other food council members and other neighborhoods where other folks can participate as well. We hope to get about 75 households that demonstrates this program or will sign up for
Okay,
it.
so if you don't get a 75 from the 4th district, you will go into the other districts?
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Henry.
Okay.
Ways and Means Committee meeting acknowledges that Councilman Washington has joined us. Committee members, if that is all for CPO 2025-31, we will proceed with CPO 2025-35, an ordinance of the City of Gary, Indiana, regulating parking meters within the City of Gary and establishing a parking meter fund, sponsored by Mayor Eddie D. Melton, City of Gary. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, council members. I'm Carla Morgan, Corporation Counsel. So the city has had parking meters at Beach or near Beach Butts for a while, and this year, as I think you all are aware, we're moving toward a cashless system. And with that, even if we hadn't moved to the system we have, we needed to pass an ordinance that created a fund for the proceeds from the parking meters to go into. So this ordinance does that and does a few other things. I can give a brief overview and then go over details. But so it creates the fund, it lays out the purposes that monies from the fund can be used for. It states in compliance with the state law that, of course, you all have to appropriate monies that come in. So we'll get the money in, but we can't use it until you all appropriate it. And the uses are also pretty much dictated by state law. It includes charging stations and our definition of what's covered under this law. Because as we know, that's electric charging stations and other alternative fuel charging stations are going to get more popular over time. There's one or two that I'm aware of in the parking lot on Lake Street across from Tiny's. But as far as I'm aware, right now it's not metered. I'm not sure, Brenda. Do you know if that's the electric charging station in that parking lot? Is that metered or not metered? Right now,
It's not right now.
okay. Well, it lets us, because the city, between the city and GSD, we do own that. So it will let us meter and charge for any electric charging stations we have around town. And I can go over the uses of the money. Basically, we first need to maintain the parking meters. It'll be actually the Park Mobile signs now that are really supplied to us for the most part by Park Mobile. We did have to produce some additional signs for this past holiday weekend. But it can also go for stuff like the cost of traffic signals across the city, the cost of repairing and maintaining streets, curbs, sidewalks, obviously the cost of maintaining our parking lots that are related to, the metered parking. So at Marquette, and other places where we're going to have the meter parking with Park Mobile, and acquiring more land by purchasing or leasing it in order to increase the parking, the meter parking that we have across town. So I can take questions or I can keep just giving you all details.
Okay, thank you for that pause. Committee members, do you have any questions thus far? Councilman Washington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Do we have a plan in the future to expand on meter parking, the amount of spaces that we have currently?
Yeah, so this year, what we're doing with Park Mobile was to make our existing operations more efficient, especially along Market Park in that area. So we want to see how this goes. Right now, there's no immediate plan to expand it. But if it's very successful and hopefully we attract more people to more of our venues, we may discuss expanding it, but right now it's just to cover the need at the lakefront.
Okay, thank you.
There was an ordinance before related to the parking. Is
Right.
this related to that?
Yeah, so the fee schedule ordinance included the cost of parking in the lakefront parking lots and all that. It had details, and we adjusted some fees per council's request. So yeah, these are related, but again, that one covered all the fees we charge across the city. This one, we had to do it to create the fund and lay out the purpose for which we can use the money to come into that fund. And like I said, we took the opportunity to add some definitions in there so we can, like I said, charge for the charging stations and other opportunities that might come our way in metered spaces.
Okay, did you have further overview?
I covered the big things. I don't know how much into the weeds you all want to get, but I do have a request. Two things I noticed. One is that, and I apologize for this, some paragraphs are properly numbered and some aren't, and that's my bad. So I want to fix that in the final version that you do. So like if you look at the second page, you have A, purpose and intent, and then it goes, A is under, like small letter A is under capital A. So I'm gonna fix that so you know, it's numbered properly so you can identify what paragraphs we're talking about. And just to be more consistent throughout the document. Then at the bottom of page 3, where it's covering the purposes that the money can be used for once you all appropriate it. At that last paragraph at the bottom of the page, I would like to add to that we can also cover the cost of maintaining the meter charging stations and related equipment and infrastructure. So I inadvertently left, it's covered in paragraphs above that, but not explicitly covered in that last paragraph at the bottom of the page. So I'll get you that update as soon as possible. But the point is, if we're gonna put in charging stations, we do need to maintain them so people can keep using them and we can keep making revenues off of it.
Okay, thank you. For both ordinances, to all that are present, these ordinances are anticipated to go on the June 2nd council meeting?
You mean this coming Tuesday?
Are they set to go on the Tuesday's meeting? Yes, no, maybe? So, third, okay, I'm sorry about that. Tuesday, June the 3rd. Are these anticipated to go on that meeting?
Yeah, that's what we hope. We're asking that they do move forward on that.
So that
meeting.
means that council members will need these ordinances as soon as possible with the amendments so that we can review before we begin the meeting.
Okay, so we can have the updates to this one to you by tomorrow at noon.
Thank you.
And then, well, I mean, so you just got the finance committee's review. So just the changes that were just discussed. So-
Ms. Henry had a name change, attorney said name change.
Okay, well, do we think we can have it tomorrow at noon? We'll make sure we email it by tomorrow at noon to your staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Committee members, anything else? Are we okay to adjourn? Okay, Ways and Means Committee meeting for Thursday, May 29th is hereby adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.